Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to revisit the subject of quality of your voice, also known as the timbre. I've done a couple of videos already. You can feel free to look at those that deal with timbre. But today we're going to focus on intonation. Intonation refers to being in tune or out of tune. So of course, if you're singing, you want to make sure that you are developing your ear well enough that you can recognize when your instrument is in or out of tune. So part of the problem, I should say, it doesn't have to necessarily be a problem, but part of the challenge, I'll put it that way, for singers that certain other musicians do not have is that we sometimes, in not treating our voices like the instruments that they are, do not take the time to make sure that we are focusing on our intonation and that we are in tune. If you do any studio work, you might have heard of auto-tune, and some singers and producers, etc., engineers rely on auto-tune to help make sure that the singer is in tune. Now, I personally am not a big fan. No, I don't want to be saying that I'm putting down auto-tune or anything, but I'm not saying it doesn't have its place, but my concern is the reliance upon it and the further the further perpetuation of the idea that singers are not real, quote-unquote, real musicians, and therefore need outside help to tune up their instrument, etc. And that's not just coming from outside folks, but as I've said in other videos, that comes from vocalists as well. Well, it doesn't matter, you know, whether I'm in tune or not. Auto-tune in the studio, auto-tune will fix it up for me. No. If you're calling yourself a vocalist, if you're calling yourself a singer, if you're calling yourself a musician, you're like any other instrumentalist. You should know your instrument. You should be working on your instrument. You should know what you need to do to be in tune. And if you're weak in that area, there's lots and lots of ways of working on that. When you are working on your intonation, oftentimes we call that ear training. So you can get with a vocal coach or a vocal teacher such as myself to work on your ear training. But you can also go to the internet, and there's lots of downloadable apps that you can find for your phone. Lots and lots of information out there, and exercises that you can look up to help increase your ear and your intonation, your strength in terms of being able to recognize your own intonation and ear training. What I'm holding here is my flute, and I just wanted to demonstrate this idea that vocalists, we're not in the habit of tuning our instrument, and as a result we don't necessarily develop the habit of being the ear habit of recognizing when it's in tune, when we're in tune and when we're not. The violin I said violin but that's true. String instruments, the flute like this, and other wind instruments, even percussion. A lot of people are surprised to find that out. My brother Celeste May, he's a percussionist, plays in my band, he's on my album as well. He sits down and he tunes his percussion instruments before he starts. If you listen to an orchestra, before they begin, they tune their instruments. I want to do a little demonstration here with my flute, just to show how there is a difference in the tone and the color of the sound. It can affect the quality and the color of the sound, I should say, whether it's in tune or out of tune. I'm just going to play a random note. That's a G, a low G. That's a middle G. So when I play a middle G, and my flute is pushed all the way in, it has one sound to it. Now, if you look here, if I pull it out to a certain distance, pull it out, not all the way out, but pull it out further, the tone, the sound, it's the same note, still a G, but it's going to be sharper or flatter. Same note, still a G, but if you're using your ears and you're tuning in, you can tell that when I pull the instrument out, I'm making the instrument longer, and therefore the same note, the G, it's a little bit lower. So if I am tuning my flute to play with another instrument or voice or whatever, that flatter sounding G might be too flat. And may say, oh, you know what, I sound flat. Let me push the head in a little bit more, you know, maybe push it in more. Play that G again. And now, because the instrument is shorter, pulled it in, the same note, that G, it is higher, or it's a little bit sharper than it was a moment ago. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'll do it, see if I can do it a little bit quicker back to back so you can hear the difference. This is G with the head pushed in. This is G with the head pulled out. See how it was a little bit lower? So, like I said, those of us who play other instruments besides the voice are familiar with tuning our instrument, and therefore it does help a lot with strengthening our musical ears when it comes to singing. The same can be said for the piano or the keyboard. Notice that when you press a C on a keyboard, a C is a C, and an E is an E. So that's today's quick tip. Today's quick tip is, once again, to work on your intonation, work on your ear training, and don't think that just because you might sing easily or singing comes easily to you that you're always necessarily in tune, or that you may not have. I mean, we all have areas that we want to grow in and strengthen, but don't assume that you may not have some tuning to do as well. Perhaps not with the entire, voice, but maybe one note here or there might be out of tune with the rest of the song or the rest of the musicians that you're performing with. But get in the habit of listening for that. And one of the easiest and quickest ways to do that is to, of course, record yourself. It can be either video or voice recording, and then play it back and listen to yourself sing. With musical background, other instruments in the background, or maybe just with one other instrument, maybe a keyboard or piano, and listen to see if you're staying in tune. More singers, or more people who are working on becoming singers, can have difficulty with that than you might think, or harder and more difficulty with that than they might think. So that's today's quick tip. Do work on that. It does impact the quality of your work and your artistry. So hope that was helpful for you. I'll be coming back with you soon with another vocal quick tip and more video information, and more helpful information, hopefully. Feel free to give me a thumbs up and comment below. Like this video if you found it helpful, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. And please do subscribe. Welcome to my new subscribers, and also feel free to follow me on Twitter at Celeste MUS and the number 1, and hit me up and check me out on Reverb Nation as well. I'll put all that information either here and it's always down below, of course, as well, and also like my Facebook page also. So I hope you found this helpful for today. I'm going to get outside into this beautiful sunshine and enjoy some August sunshine. I hope you'll do the same wherever you are, and if it's pouring down rain, still enjoy the day. God bless and take care. Bye-bye.